What's up, fight freaks, and welcome back. It's the Combat Remix and the Danco of MMA, bringing a daily MMA fix to diehard fans, and not those who think that Sokaju is a numeric puzzle. Today we're going over 10 random MMA facts, so let's get to it.
My boss sucks. My boss sucks.
Lord only knows why I haven't fired you yet. Just play the damn clip. Here we go, 10 random facts in no particular order. Number 10. If you're thinking of the fighters that have the most submissions in the UFC, I'm sure some names come to mind like Charles Oliveira, Damian Maia, Nate Diaz, Rousimar Palhares, Frank Mir, Joe Lozon, etc. But there's one particular name on that top 10 list that may surprise you, and it's UFC veteran and former professional boxer Chris Lytle. Now, he may have barely squeezed in this top 10 list, but it's even more impressive considering he's been retired for nearly 10 years, and he's still on the list. Number 9. It's probably considered common knowledge to know that the most popular submission in the UFC is the rear naked choke. And most could probably guess that the second and third most common submissions are the guillotine and the armbar. But a fun fact about this is that a rear naked choke finish is more common than both the guillotine and the armbar combined. And while it varies year to year, it consistently makes up more than half of all the submissions in the UFC. Number 8. While we're on the topic of submissions, we all know that Rousimar Palhares is a leg lock specialist. And while he has a handful of knee bar submissions to his name, the majority of his submission wins come via heel hook. Now, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but what you may find interesting is at the time of Palhares' last fight in the UFC, which was April of 2013, he alone was responsible for 45% of all heel hook submissions in the UFC. Nearly half of any specific submission by one man, that's pretty impressive. That's got to be a record of some sort that no one wrote down. You know, when you factor out the submissions that only ever happened one time, like the omoplata or the twister and so on. Number 7. Stipe Miocic is the only fighter to face the same opponent 3 consecutive times in the UFC. This, of course, would be his bouts against Daniel Cormier, who is not on this list because, remember, he actually fought Derek Lewis in between these fights. Number 6. In the history of the UFC, it takes an average of 11.5 years to break the fastest knockout record. And since Masvidal set the new record at 5 seconds, I'm pretty sure that average is going to go up. You know, assuming the record is ever broken again. Number 5. There have been a total of 21 fights that saw a winner from The Ultimate Fighter square off with another season's tough winner. And as of June of 2014, the winner of the earlier tough season would emerge victorious 82% of the time. Well, at least it would have been 82% had Norman Park not been deducted 1 point in his fight against Leonardo Santos, which ultimately made the fight result in a draw. But since April of 2014 to the very last tough winner versus tough winner bout in July of 2019, the vast majority of the winners were from the latter tough season, ultimately shrinking that 82% discrepancy down to 52%. And it makes sense when you think about it, considering the guys from the earlier tough seasons are starting to kind of get up there in age. Number 4. There's actually been a number of tough winners that have been in more than one bout with another season's tough winner. But there's only 2 tough winners that have actually been in 3 of these bouts. Those 2 fighters being Diego Sanchez and Joe Stevenson. In fact, these 2 fighters fought each other, which would see Diego Sanchez get the victory. Number 3. Statistically, most fights are finished in the very first round, and the odds of a fight being finished decline with each passing round. However, in recent years, with the increase of 5-round fights, statistically it's more common for a fight to be finished in the 4th round than it is the 3rd, though both rounds are statistically more probable of seeing a finish than the 5th round. Number 2. Donald Cerrone is perhaps the most beloved fighter in all of MMA. Fans love his fighting style, and he's always looking to get as many fights as he can. In fact, he's tied with Jim Miller for the record for the most UFC fights. And he's the sole record holder for the most wins, finishes, knockdowns, and bonus awards in the UFC. He's 3rd for most significant strikes landed, tied for 10th for the most submission victories, currently 8th for best takedown defense, and tied for 6th for most knockouts. But even though he only comes in 6th place, he does hold the record for the most knockout wins by head kick. Fight freaks, it's official. Donald Cerrone is a f***ing beast. Number 1. You think we're done talking about Donald Cerrone? Then you're dead wrong. We already mentioned that Cerrone holds the record for the most bonus awards. But fun fact, had the UFC delayed replacing submission and knockout of the night with performance of the night for only 2 months, well then Cerrone would have become the first fighter to win 3 bonus awards in all 3 categories. And while you may think this is pure speculation, I assure you it's not. Just 2 months after the bonus change, Cerrone would be the only fighter to win via submission when he defeated Edson Barboza. So there was no way he wasn't going to get the submission of the night. This has been 10 random MMA facts. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Feel free to let me know any other top 10 MMA lists you'd like me to do, as well as SuperFight bouts or MMA lookalikes. I always appreciate my fight freaks, and as for the rest of you, like and subscribe before I send a Jehovah's Witness to your house. Remix is signing out, always bringing your MMA fix.
Chris Lytle!
And then the people that came and traveled all the way to watch me fight in person, I wanted to make sure that I was with them. So that kind of, I haven't really got to reach out and tell the world really how I'm thinking, how I'm processing this.
Ma'am, this is the Wendy's.